Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a straight road. It's not a smooth highway with perfect signs telling you where to go. It's more like a winding, bumpy, unpredictable path with detours, dead ends, and storms you never saw coming. And here's the truth. Most people don't make it because they wait for the road to be easy before they start walking. I want you to hear me today. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. There's no perfect moment. There's only now. And right now is the seed of your success. See, you're young, and when you're young, you think you have forever. But forever is a lie. Time is your most valuable currency, and every day you spend doing nothing is a day you can never buy back. You will have failures. You will be rejected. People will laugh at you, doubt you, criticize you. But here's the good news. Rejection doesn't kill dreams, quitting does. Failure is not a full stop. It's a comma. It's a pause for you to gather your strength and move again. Some of you are sitting on dreams right now, books you haven't written, businesses you haven't started, ideas you haven't acted on. Why? Because you're waiting to feel ready. Let me tell you something. You will never feel ready. You have to move scared. You have to move unsure. You have to step out before the path is clear. And listen, success isn't built on talent alone. It's built on discipline, persistence, and hunger. If you're not hungry for it, you'll never have the strength to chase it when life gets hard. And life will get hard. You must decide today that you will not be average. You will not blend in with the crowd. You will not let fear write your life story. The pen is in your hand, and it's time you start writing your own chapters. Young people, the world doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you fight for. So fight for your dreams. Fight for your future, and fight for the life you know you were born to live. Because one day you won't be young anymore, and you will either look back with pride or look back with regret. The choice is yours. Most people have a dream. They have something they want to build, create, or achieve, but they're standing still, waiting for the right moment to arrive. They say things like, I'll start when I have more money, or I'll start when I have more time, or I'll start when I feel ready. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. Life will never roll out a red carpet and say, here you go, everything is aligned, now is the time. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll be waiting forever. When you look at the people who built great things, you'll notice something. They didn't start because it was easy. They started because they refused to let waiting steal their future. They worked with what they had, where they were, and they figured the rest out along the way. They understood that action creates momentum, and momentum is far more important than waiting for perfection. The danger of waiting is that it tricks you into believing you're being wise and patient, when in reality, you're letting opportunities pass you by. Every day you delay is another day someone else takes the spot you could have had. Ideas have an expiration date. That business plan, that song, that invention you're holding onto, if you don't move on it, someone else will. The market doesn't wait for you to be ready. You've got to learn to start small and start now. Too many people think they need all the resources before they begin. No, start with the little you have and grow from there. A seed doesn't wait until it's a tree to start growing. It starts small in the dirt under pressure. The same is true for you. You've got to plant your dream now, even if the soil doesn't look perfect, even if the weather is rough. Here's the reality. You will never feel fully prepared, and the path will never be completely clear. That's not a sign to stop. It's a sign to step forward anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's action in spite of fear. You'll figure things out faster while moving than you ever could while sitting and thinking about moving. You don't have to have it all together to take the first step. You just need to be willing to take it. If you look back at your life, the moments that changed you weren't the moments you stood still. They were the moments you leaped. Maybe you didn't have the money, maybe you didn't have the experience, but you had the will to try. That's what changes lives. Waiting for the perfect setup only delays your growth. Starting now speeds it up. So stop standing at the edge of the diving board, testing the water with your toes. Jump in. The temperature won't change, but you will. And once you start moving, you'll discover something powerful: the resources, the connections, and the confidence you thought you needed before you started. They were waiting for you on the other side of action. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever own. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose a job and get another one. But when time is gone, it's gone forever. Every minute that passes is a piece of your life you will never recover. And yet, so many people treat time like it's unlimited, wasting hours, days, even years on things that don't push them closer to their dreams. When you're young, you feel like you have all the time in the world. You think 50 years is far away, and 10 years is nothing to worry about. But here's the truth. Time moves faster than you think, and the longer you delay, the harder it becomes to make the moves you've been dreaming about. The opportunities you have today may not be there tomorrow. The energy you have today won't be the same in 20 years. The tragedy is, most people spend more time planning a vacation than they do planning their life. They'll work 8 hours a day for someone else's dream, but they won't invest 30 minutes a day in their own. They'll binge, watch hours of TV, but claim they don't have time to work on that idea, learn that skill, or improve themselves. The truth is, it's not that they don't have time. It's that they don't value it enough. If you want to succeed, you must treat your time like gold. Protect it fiercely. Don't give it away to things or people who drain your energy without giving you growth. Learn to say no to distractions. Learn to walk away from conversations, commitments, and activities that do not align with your vision. You cannot achieve great things if your hours are scattered across meaningless tasks. Here's a reality check. Every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something that could change your life. Every time you waste a day, you're not just losing 24 hours. You're losing the compound effect of what that day could have created. A day of action today could lead to a week of progress tomorrow, a month of opportunities next year, and a lifetime of success later. The people who make the biggest impact are not always the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who use their time with ruthless intentionality. They understand that every second counts. They wake up knowing that the clock is ticking, and they make every moment work in their favor. They don't find time, they make it. They don't wait for the right time, they create it. So guard your hours like your future depends on them, because it does. Once you truly understand the value of your time, you'll stop spending it and start investing it. And the more you invest it in the right places, the more it will pay you back in opportunities, growth, and freedom. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Too many people treat failure like a full stop, when in reality, it's just a comma. It's a pause in your story, a moment to reflect, learn, and move forward stronger. Every successful person you admire has a history of failure. They didn't get to the top without falling. They got to the top because they learned how to rise every time they fell. The problem is, most people have been trained to fear failure since childhood. In school, mistakes were punished. In life, society praises only the wins and hides the losses. So we grow up thinking that failure is a sign we're not good enough. But the truth is, failure is evidence that you're trying, that you're in the arena, that you're willing to take risks most people avoid. Think about it. No one learns to ride a bike without wobbling, stumbling, and falling. You didn't learn to walk without falling hundreds of times as a child. Yet as adults, we suddenly expect perfection from the first attempt. That mindset kills dreams. Progress demands trial and error, and the error part is not optional. When you fail, you gain information you could never have gained by playing it safe. Every setback is feedback. It shows you what doesn't work, and if you're willing to pay attention, it points you toward what will work. Failure refines your skills, sharpens your instincts, and builds the mental toughness you need to succeed in the long run. The people who never fail are not the most talented. They're the ones who never try anything challenging. And because they never try, they never grow. But those who face failure and keep moving are constantly evolving. They treat every fall as a stepping stone, not a tombstone. They use their mistakes as fuel, not as chains. You must reach a point where failure doesn't scare you. It excites you, because every failure means you're one step closer to finding the right way. Every failure means you've eliminated one more wrong path. Every failure means you're doing something most people won't even attempt. So when failure comes, and it will, don't shrink back. Stand tall. Take the lesson, adjust your approach, and keep moving. Failure is not a curse, it's the classroom of champions. The ones who graduate from it are the ones who win big in life. Fear is the number one dream killer in the world. It's not lack of money, lack of education, or lack of opportunity. It's fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And the hard truth is, fear never truly goes away. No matter how prepared you are, no matter how confident you become, when you step into something new, fear will show up and whisper in your ear, "What if you fail?" Most people wait for the day they feel fearless before they take action, but that day never comes. The people you admire, the ones who achieved great things, didn't start because they had no fear. They started while fear was pounding in their chest. They learned that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward while fear tries to hold you back. Fear will always exaggerate the danger and minimize your strength. It will show you the worst case scenario, but it will never remind you of the best case scenario. And here's the thing, most of the fears we have exist only in our imagination. We suffer more in our mind than we do in reality. The moment you take action, you often realize it wasn't as bad as you thought. Acting despite fear builds a new kind of confidence, not the shallow confidence that comes from easy wins, but the deep, unshakable confidence that comes from surviving something you thought would break you. Every time you face a fear and take a step forward, you weaken its hold on you. Over time, you train your mind to focus on possibility instead of danger. Fear is also a sign you're on the right track. If you feel nothing, it usually means you're not stretching yourself. The butterflies in your stomach, the racing heartbeat, that's your body telling you you're stepping into something that matters. The presence of fear is often proof that you're doing something significant. You must stop asking, "How can I get rid of fear?" and start asking, "How can I move with it?" Because fear will ride in the car with you, but it doesn't get to hold the steering wheel. You can feel afraid and still make the call, still send the proposal, still step onto the stage, still launch the business. So don't wait for bravery to show up before you act. The act of moving forward is what creates bravery. Walk into the unknown with fear in one hand and determination in the other, and you'll discover that fear is nothing more than a shadow, and shadows disappear when you step into the light of action. Hunger is the fuel of achievement. You can have all the talent in the world. You can have the best ideas, the best plans, and the best resources. But if you're not hungry for it, you won't chase it when things get hard. Hunger is that burning desire that refuses to let you quit, that voice in your head that says, I can't stop until I get there. Without it, even the most gifted person will settle for less. The danger is that comfort kills hunger. Once people get a little success, a steady paycheck, or a decent life, they stop reaching. They lose that fire they had when they were starting out. They forget the nights they went without sleep because they were chasing something bigger. If you want to keep growing, you must protect your hunger like your life depends on it, because your future does. Hunger is what pushes you to work when no one is watching. It's what drives you to practice more, learn more, and do more than the average person. The average person stops when they're tired. The hungry person stops when they're finished. Hunger is the difference between those who dream and those who do. You can't fake hunger for long. Sooner or later, life will test you with obstacles, delays, and disappointments. And in those moments, hunger is what will keep you moving forward. If your desire isn't strong enough, you'll walk away when things get tough. But if you're truly hungry, you'll crawl through the dirt, you'll climb over the walls, and you'll keep going until you find a way through. Hunger also forces creativity. When you're desperate for a solution, you'll think of ways you never thought of before. You'll knock on doors you never considered. You'll push past pride and ego because the goal matters more than your comfort zone. Hunger will make you resourceful in a way comfort never can. To stay hungry, you must remind yourself daily why you started. Revisit your goals, your vision, and the life you're chasing. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not those who encourage you to settle. Hunger is contagious when you're in the right environment, but so is laziness. Choose your company wisely. And here's the truth. Hunger is not something you get once and keep forever. You have to feed it. You feed it with progress, with challenges, with reminders of what's at stake. The moment you stop feeding your hunger, it begins to fade. And once it fades, so does your drive. That's why the great ones stay hungry, even after they've achieved more than most people could dream of. Talent will get you started, but discipline will keep you going. The world is full of talented people who never went anywhere because they couldn't show up consistently. Talent might open the first door, but discipline is what keeps you walking through doors when excitement fades. Without discipline, talent is just potential that never turns into achievement. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your bed feels like the most comfortable place in the world. It's showing up to practice when you'd rather rest. It's writing the chapter when your creativity feels dry. Discipline doesn't rely on feelings, it relies on commitment. The problem is feelings are inconsistent. Some days you'll feel motivated, but most days you won't. That's why people who depend only on motivation fail when life gets tough. Motivation might inspire you to start the race, but discipline is what makes you finish it. Discipline is the muscle that carries you through boredom, frustration, and doubt. Even the most talented people eventually meet challenges that talent alone can't solve. Talent might help you perform well when things are easy, but discipline helps you push through when things get hard. Discipline forces you to train, study, improve, and prepare, even when no one is watching. That's how you outlast people who might be more naturally gifted than you. Think about athletes, musicians, or entrepreneurs who are at the top of their game. They didn't just rely on their natural skills. They trained relentlessly. They practiced more than anyone else. They mastered the basics until they became second nature. That's the power of discipline. It sharpens your talent into something unstoppable. Discipline also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you keep a promise you made to yourself, you strengthen your confidence. You begin to trust that you'll show up no matter how you feel. That self-trust is priceless because it gives you the courage to take on bigger challenges, knowing you have the consistency to see them through. If you have talent and discipline, you're dangerous. If you have discipline without talent, you can still win. But if you have talent without discipline, you'll always be chasing people who are willing to put in the work day after day. Talent might make you shine for a moment, but discipline will make you last for a lifetime. Average thinking is the silent killer of dreams. It whispers, don't aim too high, don't take too many risks, be realistic. And if you listen to it long enough, you'll start living a life that's safe, predictable, and completely forgettable. Average thinking keeps you in the middle of the pack, never failing big, but never winning big either. If you want to succeed in life, you must reject it completely. The problem with average thinking is that it convinces you comfort is enough. It tells you a steady paycheck, a little free time, and a few small pleasures are all you should expect from life. But comfort has a cost. It robs you of your hunger, your creativity, and your ability to discover what you're truly capable of. The truth is, the best things in life are waiting outside your comfort zone, and average thinking will never take you there. Rejecting average means raising your standards. It means refusing to accept good enough when you know you're capable of great. It means refusing to copy what everyone else is doing just because it's popular. The crowd will always choose safety over greatness, but you can't follow the crowd and expect an extraordinary life. You'll notice something. Average thinkers always find reasons to doubt big dreams. They'll tell you it's too risky, too unrealistic, or too difficult. They'll try to pull you back down to their level because your ambition threatens their comfort. If you're not careful, you'll start believing them. That's why you must protect your mind from their influence and stay committed to your vision. Rejecting average thinking also means surrounding yourself with people who think bigger than you do. If you're always the smartest or most driven person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to be around people who challenge you, push you, and make you feel uncomfortable in the best way, because they remind you how much more is possible. Average thinking says, do what's easy. Exceptional thinking says, do what's necessary. Average thinking waits for opportunity. Exceptional thinking creates it. Average thinking stops at the first obstacle. Exceptional thinking sees obstacles as puzzles that lead to the prize. The difference is not in ability, it's in mindset. The moment you reject average thinking, your life begins to shift. You start making decisions based on where you want to be, not where you are. You stop asking, what's the least I can do? And start asking, what's the most I can give? And when you live like that, you stop blending in and start standing out, because average is crowded, but greatness is wide open.